Joining me now on the program as we shift the conversation to the National Water Resource Bill is Honourable Sada Soli. It's good to have you on the program.
Thank you.
What is the Water Resource Bill all about?
Well, this bill, first of all, this is an executive bill. This bill contains 4 existing laws in the water sector. The National Water Resources Act, the Nigerian River Basin Development Authority Act, the National Water Resources Institute, Kaduna Mando, then Nigeria Hydrological Services Agency. Those are the 4 acts. Then they wanted to bring these acts together in tandem with global trends where you don't like pieces of legislation from a sector, spread all over, just like what we're doing, what we did to the power sector, what we're doing to the aviation sector, and then also the water sector, because it's a huge sector with a lot of value chain. And it's generally talking about transborder water resources that interconnect more than one state. So it's not talking about state water resources, it's talking about national water resources as provided in the Constitution, item 64 of the executive exclusive list.
In your own view, why has it generated so much hues and cries?
In my own views, I think it was based on the initial draft. The initial draft came with a number of contentious issues, and it was not subjected to other key stakeholders. But this bill that was regazetted, that the House instructed for it to be regazetted, it has taken care of all the concerns of the stakeholders, particularly the Governors Forum, then also the concerns of the environmentalists that are involved in the water sector, then the water sanitation and hygiene aspect of the sector, which were not there before. And all these things were taken care of. The concerns of the Governors Forum was addressed. The concerns of the Attorney General that borders on the constitutional issues were also addressed. And all these things were taken off. But generally the suspicion, any law, not only in this country, any law that is subjected to public opinion and it's received misunderstanding from the public, the Parliament will have teething problems in order to get it through.
Can we talk about the benefits of this proposed law?
I think there are a lot of benefits, depending on the perspective you look at them. You see, this bill, when it's passed, it will involve private PPP, because the wash aspect, water sanitation and hygiene, will be there. The value chain in the water sector will also open up the sector. People will invest. And then also there is the issue of providing efficient, sustainable and beneficial use of water in the public interest, because people need to be protected. Then also there is the meeting the basic human needs of present and future generation. We need to have this regulation that will guarantee these things, because let me be honest with you, the next war in the next 50, 60 years is going to be a water war. It is happening between Ethiopia, Sudan and Egypt, because the Ethiopians, they dammed the River Nile upstream, and they built a Renaissance dam. And then they're having problems with Egypt and Sudan. These are some of the issues. Granted, in the next 50, 60 years, the states on River Niger and River Benue decide to go into partnership with some multinationals and dam these 2 rivers. What will happen downstream? What will happen to our brothers and sisters down the stream? Remember, the source of fresh water in the Niger Delta, the sources of fresh water to the Niger Delta is not from the sea. It's from the River Niger and the River Benue. Granted, the 7 states that are on River Benue and the 8 states that are on River Niger, they dam the river. What will happen? Remember, before we dam River Niger, the Kainji Dam, we had to go into negotiation with other countries that are downstream, particularly Niger. We have to do that. We have to guarantee them that we will allow some significant flow of water that will get to them.
How true is it that the bill proposes to bring Ruga through the back door, speaking about ceding lands in the states to the federal government?
No. What is Ruga? Ruga is a federal government policy on rural grazing area. Rural grazing area is basically purely agriculture based. This is talking purely about water resources. So you see, this is one of the aspects of the proponents against the bill, spreading this kind of fake news, rumors, and cheating Nigerians. The honest Nigerians that wanted to understand the advantages and disadvantages of this bill that are coming with Ruga. What is Ruga? How many states are even implementing the policy of Ruga? A number of states are leveraging on the federal government policy on Ruga. It's not about water resources. Ruga is not about water resources. Ruga generally is about agriculture.
Are you saying the bill does not propose to take land from the states?
No. Go to Section 50 of the bill. It's subjected to the Land Use Act. The river basins, the 12 river basins that we have that are operating in the states, they cannot take 1 inch of a land without the approval of the state government. They are subjected, the bill must have recourse to Land Use Act. It is there in Section 50 of the bill. Okay. Even in the former act of River Basin Development Act, it is there that they must subject themselves in request of a land for their operations, they must subject themselves to Land Use Act.
This is an executive bill. Why did it land on your table?
Because I'm the chairman Committee on Water Resources. I met it during when we came in the 9th Assembly, when the bill was passed by the House of Representatives, but was not passed by the Senate. And then it has to go through the normal legislative process. And then which committee will drive it? Naturally, is the Committee on Water Resources that will drive it. And I do not want to derelict. I share the concerns of my colleagues and other Nigerians on some of the issues, but I do not want to derelict on the duty the House gave me to deal with the bill. If today the House will ask the committee, please, the House has taken over this bill, and then I think that's something else that can be done. But the House has given the committee a duty to do, and we will do it reasonably, fairly, with all sense of responsibility.
You have put your credibility on the line as far as this bill is concerned. How well can your colleagues trust you in your sincerity of purpose?
I think fairly I can say it to be modest. To be modest, I think we have generated some level of confidence, and we have created a very generous and fair fraternity in the House. We have good understanding with our colleagues, and I think our colleagues will believe in what we do. And what is the gain? What is the gain if I should get involved in a legislation that will shortchange a section of this country?
With the level of noise this bill has generated, how optimistic are you that it will receive the support of your colleagues?
That's basically the responsibility of the House. I will do my job as a chairman of the committee, drive the process, get it to the floor, get it to the members. Where they need more education, I will educate them. Where they need more explanation by virtue of me being the chairman of Water Resources, I will offer the explanation. But the obligation to pass the law is on the House.
You were not in the House in the 8th Assembly. It was passed then. What more can be done to get Nigerians to buy into the bill?
I think with more education, more interaction, open it up. I think that there wasn't much engagement of the stakeholders in the sector and Nigerians, because water affects everybody. But most importantly, people need to understand, it's not the water you drink that is the issue here. It's not the water that you drink, that you and I drink, that is the issue here. No. Even the protection of our rivers, even the protection of our surface and underground water resources, These are some of the issues. Look at the amount, look at the number of investors in water sector. Look at the number of the Chinese companies that are operating, that are obstructing our underground water resources. How much do they pay?
How does this bill help in curtailing the drilling of boreholes by every home?
That's why the bill is advocating to form in the bill Water Resources Regulatory Commission at the federal level. Then the state can leverage on that, also do that. What it means by the federal government can't go and curtail the sinking of borehole in Lagos State. No, that's not what the bill is saying. The bill is providing the framework for Lagos State to leverage, for Kano State to leverage, for Akwa Ibom to leverage, for Niger State to leverage. No, they are not going to regulate the sinking or the operation of borehole drillers. No, but what we are saying, the people or the companies or the persons that are involved in this business must be licensed.
The bill has been gazetted. How soon do we see it come for second reading?
When the House, I came on a personal explanation to give members the time to read it, understand it, subject it to other third person's opinion, and then all other concerns. People will leverage on our holiday, take it back home, because it concerns everybody, even those that they are not concerned about the water bill. Now, because it is the thing that is going trending, they are concerned. You understand? Let them subject it to them, explain to them. Then when we come, if it is the wish of the House, remember, it's an executive bill. It's owned by the House now. It's not owned by Sada or any other individual. It's owned by the House. If it is the wish of the House to list it for second reading, to look at the merits and demerits of the bill before it goes for public hearing, because we want it to go for public hearing.
Without being pessimistic, what happens if this bill is rejected again?
If this bill is rejected, the water sector will continue to be regulated by the 4 existing laws. It's not that the water sector, the national water sector will be left unattended. No, there are existing laws. If this bill is passed, then those existing laws will be repealed. If they're not repealed, the existing laws will be passed. And then what people are afraid of, they will suffer it from the existing laws because they are there.
Let's talk about insecurity. What more can this government do to address the surging insecurity?
Well, I think that's entirely a different thing. It's a very difficult situation. This country is completely in another phase of development. The challenges of development, we are facing it in a completely different perspective. It's something that I'm very, very sympathetic for this country. But what the government should do, the government should just get its act together and deal with this issue decisively. It just needs for political will.
The Deputy Speaker spoke about the DSS receiving 44 intelligence reports before the Kuje attack. What does this say?
People must account of their dereliction of duty. And this is what we are lacking in this country. I have said these times without number when the Abuja train incidents happened, when the Minister of Transport confronted the committee. I was there. I challenged him that I'm surprised. Up to the moment that we are talking about this, is no head roll. So heads must roll. People must account for their actions and inactions in the process of public service. People must render accounts when they are being given responsibility to discharge. I think some people must be punished.
Do you support calls for international support?
There is no country that will not deny international support in terms of security. It depends on how it will come. You can't expect American soldiers to be on our ground. You don't expect the Chinese soldiers to be on our ground. But I believe the international community, they are helping this country in one way or the other. Intelligence sharing, some of the equipments. The Americans sold the Tucano and some of the hardwares. The Chinese have sold some hardware, the Turkish, the Russians, Jordanians. We have all gotten help. But we just need to get our acts together and get to deal with this. Look, this issue, I'm from a frontline states and frontline local government why this crisis is is happening daily. We just need to gather our political will and deal with this matter.
That is all on the program this week. Remember, you can watch a repeat broadcast on Sunday, 7 a.m. You can also see this episode again on TVC News YouTube channel. Do not forget to subscribe, like and share. Thank you for watching. I am Tijesu Adeoye. See you next time.